right, well, it is another adventure with me. I'm here at the March Airfield, and today we're going to record the whole museum. It's going to be awesome. I've wanted to do this for years. So if you've never been here and you've always wanted to come, you're going to feel like you've been here. I'm going to show you all kinds of amazing sights that are only here. One of them is the SR-71, the Blackbird. There's other SR-71s, but this one's inside a climate-controlled hangar to preserve it. Over here, they got a P-38. They've got more inside. I think they have one here. Over here, the B-25. This is the one that helped win World War II. And so many planes in here. I don't know all the numbers and all the names, but it'll be fun to search them out. All right, let's get inside. All right, they want me here. And just so you know, this museum is open Tuesday through Sundays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I believe the cost is $25. Look at this. It's changed so much. Oh, general is 18, and look at that. Seniors are 12. So I get to be $12 today. All right, where do I pay? Good. Can you grab the door from me, please?
Yes, sir.
I thought it was 25 bucks. I'm $12. This is awesome.
Oh, it went down.
I'm already half price.
There you go.
The website says 25. Hi there.
Hello.
I'm single today and senior.
Yes, sir. It's going to be $10.
Oh, I thought it was 12. Okay.
You're a veteran, right, sir?
No, my grandson
Oh, I
is
see.
in there right now. Okay, this is the gift shop. Now see, I'm a big collector of planes. I did not know they had all these pre-built ones. So I think I'm going to be tempted to spend some money that I don't want to spend. But anyway, that's a fun thing. You got all these planes. I want to find out if they're metal. Oh my gosh. I need a museum this side to hide the collection I want to have. Let's get a better view over here. You got ones you can build, and then ones that are built. I believe these are metal. I'm gonna have to ask. I prefer all the metal ones. So far, all my collection is metal. I've got an SR-71. I've got a F4 Phantom, and a C-17, and a big Titanic ship.
Yes.
Aren't these awesome?
Was just yesterday. They give you a extraction on the crown.
So the volunteers use this, and then they can go click on whatever.
Some good books on the history of March Airfield. Some other interesting things. And we have regular commercial jets too. Oh, and look at these awesome pictures. For those of you that don't know, this is the SR-71. To me, this is the center of attention of this museum. All right, enough said. Let's get out the doors. Are these, are the model airplanes that are built, are they metal or plastic?
Some of them are metal, some
Okay.
of them are plastic, some of
Yeah.
them are wood.
Okay, so you got a little of everything. I am gonna be so tempted to spend a lot of money, and I gotta really
I know what you mean.
reel it in. I've got a small collection already, and I already have the SR-71, so I got the expensive one out of the way. All right, thank you. Could you grab that door for me, please?
Sure.
Thank you. One door's good. Thank you so much. Oh, the cockpit's open. Last time I was here, that was not open. There we go, folks. There's the SR-71. And it is just, oh my gosh, I love this plane. Let's go check it out. We're gonna start with the best thing of all. Look at that. Look at this. Oh, they have it all lit. Oh my gosh. Wish they'd turn off the top lights. That would be amazing. This is the SR-71 or Blackbird. They used to have this outside when the museum first opened. And for obvious reasons, they wanted to bring it in to preserve it. I was here several years ago when it was outside, and one of the pilots that flew it was here. And I got to talk to him. One interesting fact about this, when the plane is on the ground, it's actually leaking fuel. When it's on the ground, they put just enough fuel in there to get it safely airborne to an altitude where it stops and leaking, and it gets high enough that the pressure pushes it together, and that is when they'll refuel the tank. And it can do what it can do is its mission. Over here on the left, oh, I thought that was one of the engines for this. It's not. But look at the size of that motor. It's a good 20 feet, give or take. Throw the head front cone in even more. I'm going to put this in my mouth right now. So I won't be talking, but it's going to get a better view.
CIA, Lockheed, and the U.S. Air Force designed and built the SR-71 in secrecy. Security clearance kept employees, crew, pilots, etc. from ever discussing the project outside.
All right, this is why this ship was built, this jet. It's for surveillance. It caught high altitude, high speed viewing of targets on the ground. And
the first flight of an SR-71 took place on December 22nd, 1964.
well, I'll let her
The
tell
first
you.
SR-71 to enter service was delivered to the 4200th, later the 9th Strategic Reconnaissance Wing at Hill Air Force Base, California, in January 1966.
So 1966 was delivered to the Air Force, and
The SR-71 Black Hawk can fly at speeds over Mach 3, altitudes over 80,000 feet with extreme precision. This was thanks to the Astro International Navigation System.
okay, he just answered one of my questions. This SR-71 goes Mach 3. That's 3 times the speed of sound. And this, what do the snakes represent? The snakes on the side up there, what do they represent?
This plane, a lot of these planes were based in Okinawa.
Okay.
And Okinawa has on the ground has a cobra called the habu. And they got the tradition when the planes would fly in, the locals go, "Granddaddy Habu." So that's now, there's a flight jacket back there on his patch that says Habu. If you look up Habu on Google, you'll think you're SR-71.
So that means,
Signifies how many missions they went on.
yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Now, this plane had been based in Okinawa. Before it came stateside, they had to paint all those snakes off of there because it never flew those missions. They were all top secret.
Got it.
Beautiful aircraft.
You never saw me.
Never saw me. I wasn't there. We had
Awesome.
he's passed away now, but one of our docents a couple years back had been a boom operator on a KC-135, and there were just special versions that had dual tanks because this used a different fuel than most jets. And he had the stories of the places they would refuel these.
I actually
his view,
spoke.
laying on his stomach down there, watching that SR-71 come up behind him, and he would refuel them, and what an experience.
Yeah, I actually talked to one of the pilots on this when it was still outside, and it was when it was this direction. I don't know, how long have you been here? How long have you been working?
I've been here 5 years now.
Oh, it predates that.
But the plane, just this last week, I was trying to figure out when did we move in here, and I'm hearing like 17 years ago it came inside.
Yeah, that's how long it was. It was still outside when I spoke to the pilot.
Yeah.
And
we've had a number of talks in here with different pilots, different crew.
yeah, it was pretty awesome to get all these facts. I wasn't recording at the time, and I didn't have my camera then.
Yeah.
I wish I could have recorded that combo, but
On our webpage, I don't know how I found it, but there's probably 30 or 40 or more videos of conversations with people.
that'd be interesting.
So if you have some time, dig into our webpage, and besides the story on every plane, there's a bunch of
Yeah, I got a lot of those facts. There's the A12 up at Coliseum, Expo Park. They got an A12 over there. There's a lot of facts in there about the different versions of the 71 to the trainer and all the other ones that they had. So that was pretty interesting to look at.
I found a chart on, how you find stuff.
All right, there you go.
We're doing a walk up to the SR-71. See what looks like inside the cockpit. Hope I don't trip. Here's the front seat, the pilot seat. And the back seat. The things I wanted to point out is the celestial navigation port and the refueling port. Okay, turned off. Is that okay?
It's still recording. Which was replaced by the ASARS.
Yeah, it's still recording in the back. GoPro stop record. Okay, well that was Tom. Tom was a wealth of information. He did tell me that the top speed on this was 2,200 miles an hour. That's Mach 3.3. And fascinating. This is a better view of the camera. Kind of went over this, went around this earlier. This is the camera. He said it has the capacity to record, oh man, I now forget the number, but an insane amount of footage, quality wise, but they can't hold that kind of film in the camera. It was like 100,000 miles of, per flight, but anyway, that's not feasible. Anyway, great facts about this. All right, we're gonna move on to the rest of the museum. Let's start here, and we'll go around the other way. You got some World War I and earlier stuff. A lot of static supplies and displays. This is a tribute to commercial airlines, it looks like. I just watched Catch Me If You Can this morning at 2 in the morning. My daughter actually met I gotta get his name right. Abagnale is the last name. I'm forgetting the first name. Anyway, she met him at a conference, so it was really neat. She got a picture with him for me. There's the flight suit, the primitive. See this from the U-2, a surveillance jet. The compression suit. It's like the nose cone, or the opposite of the nose cone for the space shuttle. And for those of you that are interested, you got to go to the California Science Center next year, about 2026, the end of it to beginning of 27. But the shuttle's museum is going to be opening soon. It's going to be amazing to check out, and I'll be doing a lot of videos on that one. Anyway, got multiple propellers on the wall. We'll just go through this stuff quick. Shout out to the World War II planes. Got a aircraft carrier up here. Looks like the B-25s. Oh, that's the Doolittle raid. That's a famous raid that went after we were bombed at Pearl Harbor. The Doolittle raid was a bunch of B-25s that went to bomb and retaliate on Japan. It was a suicide mission because they only had enough fuel to go one way, and they were going to drop their bombs and try to get to safe areas, and I don't think any of them survived. But they launched from the USS Hornet 16 B-25 bombers, all launched from that, and they all dropped bombs on Japan. It's the gun turret. I'm a B-24. It's like life. Some of the things from. There's the B-24. A little bit different, similar to the B-25. A little bit of the USO tribute, Bob Hope. There's the B-24.
Eric, did you see that? Whatever that is over there? Oh, I guess it's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Okay. This is one of the 50 calibers. I don't know, that could be out of the B-17, or is that of the B-17 or the 29? Okay, could be either one. Let's see what the front says. Well, they don't say. Feels like it's a metal detector, but I'm sure it's not. Thank you. All right, this is the B-52. I believe it's a B-52 simulator. Similar, a lot of stuff here. Yeah, this is the B-52 simulator right here. We've had these for a lot of years. It says it's the 15th Airborne. We've got a red box from the president, probably. The old teletype. That's how they used to get the news, up to the minute. Okay, this is March. This used to be called a SAC base, Strategic Air Command, and this is where the B-52s and the KC-135s were based. The KC-135 is the refueling plane, and the B-52s were the big bombers back in the day. I used to come by here a lot with my uncle on the 215 to go in and out of Riverside, and we'd see B-52s taking off and landing all day long. They were awesome to watch. If we're lucky today, we'll see something similar taking off outside. All right. And here's the bomb site for dropping the bombs out of these giant planes. There's a drone, some sort up here. It's like a helicopter drone, but it's missing the top propeller. Okay, there's a room over here we missed. See if I can get someone to let me in. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, this is new since I was here last. Just a lot of classic bomber jackets. These are worth a lot of money to collectors. Then we got cameras that evolved through the years. Oh, here's something neat. The different helmets. Boy. Really old ones to some of the U2 and SR-71 helmets. There's some compression suits.
As I mentioned, I was a paratrooper. Once you get on the ground, you no longer need your parachute, and you don't want your parachute because it's just more stuff.
There's a Vietnam tribute.
Comment. You leave your parachute behind, and you know what you do, silver. I'm not sure. But the old PK,
Some actual things from it. Get this room for a little bit. Now there's a model of a P-38. That's how it all began with the Wright brothers. Neat stuff. P-51 up there. Looks like they have a bunch of foot lockers. I'll turn around so you can see that. They got foot lockers up here. Going back to all kinds of wars. You see World War II. holder. Let's see what's over here. Paintings of dignitaries up on the wall. There's so much to look at. I'm not going to try to describe some of this stuff. It's beyond me. Oh, here's Vietnam's Hanoi Hilton. See if that's an actual. Yeah, that's an actual. And then here's the prison cell on the left. Oh, they have wrist bracelets there. That must be missing in action, prison of war bracelets. And over here is a German tribute. That must be Hitler's house up top there. Oh. Some cots. It's like a bunch of uniforms. And here's something. Look at this primitive wheelchair. Check that out, guys. Ooh, it's got suspension. It's got little springs on the front wheels. I'm glad we've evolved. And no padding, just a hard metal seat.
Brought to you by the Admiral Corporation, makers of Admiral Radio, America's Smart Center.
A little bit of the medical, what they went through.
As well as leading news centers of our own country, CBS correspondents are waiting to bring you a complete report from the world's political and battlefronts. But first, here's Doug Airfield. The Allied Fifth Army in Italy has thrown back German counterattacks and has took the enemy defense lines around.
There's a neat little assortment of planes up there. That's neat. Bunch of weapons from the enemy, it looks like. Seeing Japanese, so there's World War II, Japanese weapons. Get turned around. Some scuba. It's obviously SEALs. And we got a World War II Jeep. All right. Check out this stuff. Got a little conference room. Lots of planes on the ceiling. Walls, they're all over the place. And we're back here again. A little more up to date now. Okay. All right. Oh, good look at some of the old school and the new school. How they're keeping them organized. All right. Well, now this side's empty. We can look at these. It's like the front of the, could be the B-29, it looks like. Yeah, that's the B-29 cockpit right there. There's some of those bullets up top. 20 millimeters, 30 millimeter cannon rounds. It's like World War I. World War II. Lots of Nazi stuff. That's very old. So lucky we beat them. Could have been a different world. A tribute to the Korean War. The B-24D. All right. Let's go check out this room. A few more things in here. Those are the current uniforms for Marines, or Air Force and Marine. Yeah. That's the North Korean. Or North Vietnamese, possibly. This is the Iraq War, it looks like. Yeah, that's the all the hostages that were captured up top there. That's captured in the movie Argo with Ben Affleck. Watch that movie that talks about when Iraq's kidnapped all those journalists and other people from the American embassy. All right. Some of the ladies' outfits. Yeah, they called him the Wasp. Somewhere there's the definition of what Wasp is. I don't know. Anyway, I'll try to get the definition. Maybe put it in the caption down below. It's the women something support personnel. All right. Well, that is the most, that's all of it on the inside. A few things I didn't get up in the air here. Got some more aircraft. Little Cessna behind the SR-71. Kind of like saying, there's the past, but the SR-71 was older than that Cessna. Technology was amazing. I did find out from talking to Tom how we inquired all the titanium shell for this. He said that because at the time this is being built, all the titanium was in Russia. So I guess the CIA were told that they need these planes, we needed a lot of titanium. So I guess they started and formed a bunch of small businesses saying that they needed the titanium for pizza ovens, that the high intense heat to cook pizza needed a titanium inside the ovens, and that's how all these small businesses were able to acquire enough titanium to build these SR-71s. Everything from the A-12s, the trainers, down to the actual 71 Blackbirds that were the surveillance fleet of our time after the U-2, or probably before the U-2. But we've got a drone up top there. That's a current one. Those are fighting our battles now and keeping the men out of danger. One last look at the SR-71 cockpit before I head outside. All right. Can you hold that door, please? Sir, can you hold the door, please?
Oh, well, of course.
Thank you. Time for the planes now.
There you go.
What an awesome museum this is. Thank you. All right. Well, across the way is March Air Base. And I'm hoping throughout the day that there will be some planes landing that we can get. All right, well, let's do this side first. This here is called a gyrocopter. And it's usually a one-man. There's other versions that are two-man. But this is the early stages of a helicopter. I actually knew a guy at the Riverside Air Show years ago that invited me to his place up north. He had a two-seater gyro. Said if I'm ever up there, they'll give me a free ride. It never did work out. And you got your Cessna. Not too exciting. We're gonna go to this outer edge, then I'll come into the inner edge. Ooh, there's something exciting. There is a B-29. And it looks like there's a Corvette club doing some kind of a special event. So we'll get a little bit of that later. You got a Corvette here today?
No, ours isn't, but everybody else.
What's the backstory on all this?
Huh?
What's the backstory with all the Corvettes?
Just a club wanting something to do. Actually, we came here in another Corvette 50 years ago and got a picture under one of the planes
Awesome.
too.
The B-29 is a nice airplane to get it with.
Yeah.
My wife's grandfather flew these in World War II.
Oh yeah.
Or in the Korean War.
We had one club member passed away maybe 6-8 years ago. He flew in World War II.
Yeah.
Landing on the boats. Had good stories of Patton.
Yeah. Well, nice talking to you. All right. Let's go into the Vietnam Fire Base Romeo Charlie, it says. Let's check out Fire Base Romeo Charlie. These little enclosures or covers were made to cover the helicopters so that from the sky, the jets with the bombs didn't land on them and blow them up. Little Huey. Over there, that's the Cobra. That's a Marine helicopter. Oh, or Army, it says too. But that's not the Apache. Apache's the big one. I hope I'm right. Some other vehicles. Yeah, that's the Seabees, that's the Marines. They're the ones that built things in the dangerous areas. That's a HH-34J Choctaw. I want to keep moving. I don't want to spin my wheels out. That boy, that sure looks like a Apache. Nope, that is the Cobra. I was correct. Yep. This was the Vietnam and the Gulf War when it was used. Now they have a new one. I just drew a blank. That one straight ahead is the Huey. And when I broke my neck in '95, I flew on that helicopter from Beaumont to Loma Linda Hospital. Some of you know where that's at. Beaumont was out by Palm Springs. Alright, what do we have here? The Workhorse. H-21B Workhorse. So it's a Cold War helicopter. That's before the new modern day Chinook. Okay, I just went live getting my brain cells. There's the Apache helicopter. That's flown by the Army. That's got all kinds of high-tech things to fly it with, and all kinds of, you can see through mountains, you can see all kinds of different tools to kill the enemy. But the Cobra, this is much more of a line of sight, shoot to kill. But there are a few accessories on there. You had rockets, probably had some Hellfire rockets on there. Then you had those little rocket pods, little smaller caliber, maybe 30 caliber cannon type rounds. Then you had a 20 millimeter Gatling in the middle there. So that does some damage. I've seen that in different news footage, like military shows showing what the different aircraft did, and that was as a big fighter. All right, and then we have, it's like an older helicopter. Now the newer ones, they have the forward propeller on the helicopters that, of course, you have some, the Black Hawks. Those are the new ones. We're not going to have any of those here, it looks like. This here says it's a O-1A Bird Dog, Vietnam era. Let's see what their barrack look like. Call this the command center. If you watch Green Berets, they have something similar to this, covered up with a lot of sandbags, where John Wayne is calling out fire missions. Yeah, this is all great stuff. All right, we're leaving Vietnam. That's the helicopter used in Magnum PI, if you ever watched the one we're using in Hawaii. And even the new Magnum PI. That's that real cool aerobatic helicopter. Well, I didn't get stuck. That's good news. Okay, now this one is interesting. Have you ever seen a movie called Bat 21? There's about a soldier that gets shot down, and Donald Glover, oh, the soldier is, oh, what's his name? He just died, Gene Hackman. Oh, we got a jet that just took off. Two of them. And that's the cool stuff. Those are two looks like F-15s. All right, back to this. If you've ever watched Bat 21 with Donald Glover and Gene Hackman gets shot down. Donald Glover uses this plane to surveillance and to keep Gene Hackman alive. And they use, in order to get him to a safe place to be picked up, they call out a golf course that Gene Hackman loved to golf at, and they realized that's what Donald Glover did. He found out the golf course, and they navigate him to a certain hole where he'll be picked up. It's a great movie. Classic. All right. Looks like they have a bunch of them. Alrighty then. One of my other favorite planes, the B-17. There goes a drone right there. That's pretty cool. We had some F-15s. There's a wild lion out there.
Yeah, right.
A baby lion. Well, it was nice talking to you folks.
Yeah, take care, sir.
Have a nice day. So we got drones. Look at the transition of the vet from a convertible to a non-convertible. The big car's got the right of way. Okay, we'll start this again. And over here, we've got the big dog, the B-17, another one of my favorites. I've seen these fly at the Riverside Air Show. They're incredible. Looks like this could fly right now. It's called the B-17 Flying Fortress. Pretty awesome. I think we have some Corvettes coming over. Starduster. I love this. It's going in my mouth again. There you go. That's the 360 view of the B-17 Flying Fortress. All right, what else we have? They said the P-38 is only open on the weekend. So that's a bummer. That's a beautiful plane. Looks like that cat wants some attention. Some old cars from the World War II. It's like their boneyard. And another room that's only open on the weekends. That's a little better view of the gyrocopter that's ready to go. Not seaworthy though, or airworthy as they say. Some other planes ready to be painted. There's some fun stuff out here. Look at all this outlier stuff. Oh, here's something that's hidden away. I wonder if it's an actual Zero or replica. It doesn't look like it. It's a two-seater, so it's not the actual Zero. But hey, it represents another Navy CV tools. Definitely the boneyard. It's like a B-24, B-25 tail wing. That's the undercarriage of something. See the guns in the front. Got a said Sun Country. Not sure where that's from. See if I can navigate this without getting stuck. I don't think I want to go take a chance of getting hung up in there. But that's a tribute to the Iraq War. Not sure what that plane is, but not American looking. Go over there to see if I can get it. No. Got a lot of jets. All those are jets out of something. That looks like one that Indiana Jones flew in Temple of Doom. Yeah, this is all new when I was here last. Got a lot of stuff donated. of junk stuff. All right. Well, let's go see some airplanes. You got a good view here across the freeway. That's a train museum. You can find that at the, it's over something with their name Paris. Paris Train Museum. I went there when I was really young. My mom was in a square dancing, horse square dancing thing. And they did one of their shows there. So that was interesting. Are you one of the owners of the hangar?
Pardon me?
Are you one of the owners of the hangar?
No, I'm not.
I'm just curious what's in there.
I don't know. I saw this one said P38.
Well, that one's only on the weekends.
Only on weekends.
I thought you came out that open door.
Yeah, I really wanted to see one of those if there was one on display.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Have to come on the weekend. All right. Well, let's hit my afterburner. My 8.5 afterburner. We'll go see some regular jets and see what other fun things we can find here. All right, so now we'll start with, these are the MiGs. I don't know, are these the, yeah, these are the MiG-15s. This is a Soviet plane. They got that very familiar nose cone. Yeah, the MiG-15. MiG-17. Then we got another MiG-17. Morocco. MiG-19, North Vietnamese. Oh, which one do we have here? MiG-21. That's from Poland. So you can see the evolution from the different ones, different wars. Oh, so that one's got fighter pods on there, or bullet. And then what do we have here? This is the MiG-23, the Czechoslovakian one. So it really evolved from the first MiG-15. I've definitely seen better days. A little bit of the F4 Phantom look to it. All right. We're gonna go in my mouth for a while. This is a great look at the airfield where those F-22s took off from. We're down there. They're part of the patrol jets that protect the Inland Empire. I'm not sure where their patrol is, but they've got some always here, fully loaded with weaponry. Oh, we got some birds fighting. What are we fighting over? Anyway, and then on this side is where you have your KC-135s, your C-17s, although I don't see any 17s here today. And I see a National Guard. I don't know that that's a C-30. It's a C-130 or a C-30 cargo. But that's Coast Guard, it looks like, so I'm not sure what it is. Alright. Over here. Yeah, the KC-135 is the tanker, the refuel tanker for a lot of the fighter jets and other aircraft. You can see it over there. There's some fighter jets. Look like F-16s over there by those gray, tiny, smaller hangars by the big ones in the back. But those are definitely F-16s. Alright. The F-16, it's like that one right there. I don't know, it looks like it's ready to fly today. Surprised it's here. Alrighty. F-100C Super Sabre, United States fighter from Vietnam era. What do we have here? F-10-1 or the F-101B Voodoo. It's another Cold War, Vietnam War, United States. Cool name, the Voodoo. Alright, the Delta Dagger, F-102 Delta Dagger. Again, it's a Cold War jet, so never saw combat. Starfighter. I've seen this in flying air shows. F-104 Starfighter. Yeah, that one I've seen. All right. F-105 Thunder Chief. It's a Vietnam era. So it did get more airtime. Now this one I know very well. This is the F-4 Phantom. This is one that flew in Vietnam. many missions in Vietnam. See a lot of low-fly napalm runs with this guy. It's pretty cool stuff. Altogether, this is the F4 Phantom II. Yeah, the F4 Phantom. This was a carrier-based plane. You can tell that because the wings fold up on the outer pods. This far left tank, that's a fuel tank, and the inners, those are the 500-pound bombs. All right. It's like we don't have any concrete on this one. So I gotta find a way down there. Let's go. This doesn't look too scary. All right. What do we have here? This is the A-26C Invader. My darling Ramona. That's its name. And here we have A-37 Dragonfly. Vietnam area again. That thing looks like a lowrider. That thing is low to the ground. No bombs, so it must have been a surveillance. Probably did surveillance after bombing runs. Here we have the A-7D Corsair. Another Vietnam era jet. Oh, remnants of mud. I'm glad it's not muddy. The low ground one. AH-200 Saeta. It's an attack plane, it says, from the Spanish, from Spain. ERA campaign. I don't know. Alrighty. There's another carrier based. Yeah, this is the EA-6 Prowler. Saw a lot of these on the aircraft carriers. That's from the Southeast Asia missions. So Vietnam also. We have here the T-28 Trojan. I've probably seen these flying in local air shows. It's out of Mexico. It's a trainer. Alright, what do we have here? The TA-4J Skyhawk. Another Vietnam era. This here has a refueling pod on the front. Plus it's got, looks like 3 external tanks. So this did long missions, it looks like. Alright, we have EA-1E Sky Raider. Korean War and Vietnam Wars. Yeah, this looks familiar. This looks like a carrier base, but maybe the wings, looks like the wings fold up. Yeah, you can see yeah, they do fold up. So let's get a side shot of this guy. Yeah, definitely a Navy ship. It says Navy on it. All right, here's the last one on this side. Oh, look at the bombs on this one. The YA-9A. That doesn't tell me much. It's a Cold War plane. Look at the firepower on this one. See that cat way out there on patrol. All right, well that was cool. I'm excited about this next one. This looks like the one that flew in Strategic Command, the movie I love to watch. Strategic Air Command. Great movie. This is the B-47E Starlo Stratojet. United States Cold War. We'll put this in our mouth. The B-4E Stratojet. Yeah, but if you saw the movie Strategic Air Command, I believe this is the one that was in that movie. Okay. Whoa, that was not good. Edit that out. Yeah, I was right. There's the logo. Strategic Air Command. This is one that was flown in that movie.
out of the Germans, World War II, when they developed the first jets.
Yeah.
And if we had not stopped that, they would have won the war.
on the C-141, unlike the C-5, where the back end, the whole plane kneels and the back end comes down, same with the C-17, this one, the doors open up and a little, probably somehow they load up. I don't know how it opens. There's another platform on the inside, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It opens up underneath it. The weather feels so nice in the shade. It's not too hot, but it feels so good in the shade. I'll get a lower profile on this one. Looks like they use 8 tires in the middle and 2 in the front. Yeah, you can see the hinges on that now. I'll have to look up and see how they drop down the back end. Oh, smell that lovely shade. These engines are huge. Probably not very efficient compared to the newer ones. But that's the C-141. Dedicated to all who flew, maintained, and supported the C-141 aircraft. Too cool. It's a big one. I'd love to be inside it, but that's not going to happen today. All right. So we did all those. We did the C-141. Now let's come over here. Troop transport for the, I don't see a plaque for that one. All right, this one is the R-50-5 Lodestar to World War II. It says cargo. Pretty cool. All right, this looks like the one they flew in Air America with Mel Gibson and Robert Downey Jr. The C-123K Provider. Again, it's a cargo. Yeah, this looks identical to the one in that movie. Kind of resembles the C-130, probably in early stages of one, but it's not. Pretty cool. I'll have to go home and watch the movie and do my own comparison. It's pretty cool. All right, we got a Canadian Air Defense Command. Oh, I missed a couple over here. Let's get this. All right, the C-7 Caribou. It's a Vietnam era. It says cargo. So, looks like they got possible passenger too. See a lot of side windows, like where they'd put chairs in there, Yeah. All right, the KC-135. Unless they throw some weird number on this one, I recognize this one. Oh, the KC-10 extender. So this is probably a earlier version of the. This is a fuel tanker though. This one they flew in the air and they would refuel other ships. We'll do a drive-by this one. You can tell that this one held or carried a lot of weight. You've got the two outer landing gear and the one in the center to help take up some of the weight from when it's full of fuel. Oh, I want to stay under the big planes. The air just moves through here. You see the other end of the engine. Look at the hardware on this landing gear. That thing is serious. Doesn't say how much weight capacity, but and they're Goodyear tires. Okay, we'll come back here, show you the boom. This is the boom. I'll put this in my mouth. Go over and capture this nice looking bird over here. This is the KC-135 Strato tanker. So this is the new one, newer one. Let's go ahead and see this one. Okay, now we're at the meaty part of our American bombing fleet. This is the B-52 Stratofortress. This is still in use today. It says Cold War, Vietnam Wars, and right now we just battled or sent to war one of these over in Iran and bombed the heck out of that country, thanks to our lovely President Trump getting us into World War III almost. But this is the B-52, who is one of our biggest, holds the most bombs, I believe, to any ship that we have. And you can see the how many kills they have, how many bombs they dropped, probably in the Vietnam era, how many bombing missions they had. Look at this. You can see this wheel at the end of each wing. When they load this up with bombs, they put them on the inside of the belly. I'll drive up inside there. And they also would put them on pods out here. And so this wing couldn't hold the weight of it on the ground until it gets up in the air and up to full speed. Then it would trim the wings and it could fly. But on the ground, needed these wheels to help with the weight. Yeah, look at this. Now when I go to the March Air Base air show every year, they have actual B-52s that are flying still, and they're much better looking. This one's definitely seen better days. You see that little go-kart looking thing. If you watch Vietnam movies, you see them dragging those things out on the tarmac with multiple trailers attached, and they drive the bombs out, and they'll lift those up to the wings. I'll try to put a picture in the video of what a fully loaded B-52 would have looked like in the going back to the Korean War or the Vietnam War, and also when we did Desert Storm, B-52s flew bombing runs on that too. All right, let's go up inside the belly of the whale. With the jumbo tires. You got jumbos on the other end too. There you go. The bombs would be just stacked up in here. Just filled to the capacity with 500 pounders, 2,000 pounders. I don't know what the different classifications would be. But inside here, you can still smell the fuel. I want to say diesel, but I know it's not. Jet fuel, though. You can smell the jet fuel. Still got old smells to it. Look at these wheels. I don't think they would last another landing. Definitely shows how much weight is on this thing. Look how big these cargoes or these bomb bays are. All the way to the top. You have to appreciate how awesome these are. It's pretty awesome. Look at the outside. Drop it on the back end here. Let's go in my mouth. Now, a lot of you probably know what these are, but these are guided missiles. These will have wings pop out, and they'll either be laser guided or GPS guided. And they're big bombs. These are big weapons, part of the newer arsenal. I'm sure that Iraq said hello to a few of these a few weeks ago. these motors are super old ones here, but when I was at the Marsh Airfield for one of the air shows, they had completely different looking motors. So these have not been updated. All right. These are fun to look at. I see some wasps over there. I'm gonna steer clear of those. Don't think I want to get stung or bit today. All right, well there is probably the second coolest airplane in this airfield, the B-52. I don't know what I like to see better, the B-17 or the B-52. So I'll just say I like them equally. It's like saying what's your favorite child. So I can't do that. On a little fun note, that B-29 we looked at earlier, my ex-wife's grandfather was a B-29 pilot during the Korean War. And he always had some fun stories to talk about. Regarding that plane. Now we're going to make our way back to the Canadian airplane over there. Boy, making good time. Hope I'm not going too fast for those enthusiasts that want to see more, but you can always pause it and take another look. Alright, this is where I said the plane from Air America with Mel Gibson and Robert Downey Jr. I believe that's it. Alright, now we're doing the Royal Canadian Air Force Air Defense Command. I would like to think they're a little more modern. I hear chirping. Sounds like squirrels, but it's like birds. Let's do this one here. The C-45J Expeditor. It says cargo. That's a small cargo plane. I'm sure after the war was over, it was converted to a light passenger. All right. They call this one the C-119G Flying Boxcar. I'm sure the back end drops out. We'll go take a look at that end. That's going to be a loud motor. I just realized that when I said from the movie, the Air America, that looks like it's jet. Oh, there's prop on the other side. I didn't see the prop on this side. There we go. All right, well, we're going off-road again. See another little treat down the road there a bit. Yeah, these are some serious props. They're going to make some noise. I think I've seen this plane in some movie, but yeah, the back end opens up. We'll follow the pattern of shade. Makes me wonder. No, I thought it might kneel down. Looks like it doesn't. Very interesting. See, and there's this one. That's definitely the plane from Air America that I was saying. But that one, the back end drops down. You want to see this one in action? Just watch that movie. Air America. Mel Gibson. Robert Downey Jr. Okay. Now we're getting a little space action here. This is a serious booster rocket. All right. It says solid rocket booster, United States, for space exploration. Doesn't say what it's from, but you can see it holds a lot of solid material. See, there'd be two of these, not this big. I've already filmed it on my space shuttle document that's going on. But there's two of these smaller versions on the space shuttle that would attach to the liquid fuel. That's the orange tank on the space shuttle. But this is huge. This is massive. This looks like maybe one that was on the mission that just went around the moon. Landed about a week and a half ago. There were two of these strapped on the main rocket. I think that's what this is. Pretty awesome. Let's go see it. The other end looks like. This chair does pretty good on this off-road. Oh yeah, it's got the nose cone. They're identical to the ones on the space shuttle, but much larger. See if we can get a long distance straight shot. That would have been fun to watch get dropped off and assembled like I did at the Science Center. Although this one I'm sure was delivered in sections. The one at the Science Center, that was delivered in one solid unit. Although this has got all the supports. Yeah, those are just sitting under it, like they did with the one at the Science Center. You'll just have to go back and look at my old footage when they dropped off the different components. Pretty awesome. Well, I hope you're enjoying this video so far. Let's go this way. Let's see. This DC-10. Oh, it's called a VC-47. Sure looks like the 10 little transport from World War II was the 47, and that makes sense. Yeah, it's World War II. The VC-47, which converted later to the oh, I can't remember the name of it now, but it was the the 10. That's the civil when they went to decline in passenger jets. That's when they converted it. Oh, look at that. Got a U.S. Navy rocket fuel. Navy must have rockets for something. Not sure what they would use that for. Alright. Let's go look at this one. See how close. That's the 210 freeway. Excuse me. 215 freeway. Go that way, goes in Moreno Valley. Go this way, goes into Paris and other cities down the road. Alright, this is the C-54 Q Skymaster. It says cargo. Again, World War II. Yeah. Big cargo jet. There's a better look at that. Well, that's not the train museum. That's just some abandoned trains. Train museum is further down. Okay, the C-131 Samaritan. Another cargo. It's Cold War. All right, well, I think that's the end of our tour. That could be a DC-10. That's that one over there, the C-47 converted to DC-10 when it entered civilian. Get back up here. And after all that, yeah, the Lodestar. Yep, that's all of them. I'm going to go back through slowly, get another look in the other direction. Can never get tired of this look. That's an impressive jet. Love those giant heavy lift. Well, that's it. You just saw the whole, just seen the whole museum inside and out. I sure hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. I love anything about airplanes and airfields, and I just love this stuff. If you liked it, please hit that like button. The video is long, but it's a large museum. I encourage you to come down here yourself. Admission is not that bad. General is $18, seniors $12, active and veterans $10. If you come in uniform, they say it's free. So there's your prices, and it's Tuesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and it's located right here by the March Airfield. I came up the end of, it's called Van Buren's, Van Buren, and you just go to the very end of it, and it deadens. It just goes dead end at the museum. It's on the corner of the 215 freeway and Van Buren. So again, hit that like for me, and if you enjoyed it, send me some comments. I love hearing what people think about my videos. But if you can't get down here, if you're not from this area, I hope this gave a good idea of what this air show or air museum is like. It's one of the best. It's better than anyone in the country, in my opinion, at least the ones that I've seen. I know there's some with a lot of mothballed planes, but this has a very eclectic collection, from the Red Baron planes, even the Wright brothers, all the way through to the modern F-16 right there. So, and then here we saw some F-22s flying in the air. That was pretty cool, and a drone that took off. So, all right, well, that's it. My name's Ken Nelson. This is my YouTube site, and it was a pleasure to bring this to you. You have a great, great day.